the upcoming issue of 11/11. And sorry, I've been suffering from a cold, so I don't know. But unbalanced. In an instance of misunderstood intentions, I'm the one doing the misunderstanding. The forces aren't enough, and the cantilever's free end is falling. I'm doing all the asking and all the listening. Flowers are bought and given, but the intentions are ambiguous. This unbalance is the sloping of years. I mistake too stubborn and too persistent for courage. Instead, it's an unwillingness to see truth. Sharp words are dished out over Vietnamese food in a city apart from our memories, and birthday cards go unacknowledged. The effort of remaining desolate has worn me out. It seems better to let the whole structure collapse. Brace. He thought a relationship of nothing was something. He dated some girl I didn't know and thought that girl was me. I shored up his belief with self-neglect and sympathy. A week after our first date, he labeled me his girlfriend, failed to inform me, and disclosed this non-existent us to mutual acquaintances. I wasn't sure I could stop the gravel sliding underfoot, so I settled for considering how I might fall. I wondered if I could manufacture love in a relationship I braced with curiosity and boredom. He implied marriage with his constructed girlfriend. I got tired of stabilizing a building only meant to be temporary. With a push of my fingers, I watched the walls fall outward. The next two poems I wrote for my friend Henry Hung in his band, the Claxton Mutant All-Stars. Translation. I listen to the rhythm of chaos, the music into language. I tiptoe into words and horns and pianos sliding, slippery. I sway so no one can see, right can't keep up with left. I feel the drag, pulling, pounding, curving. Then clanking, clanging, wailing, creeping toward silence. Pitter-patter. Dance and swoop along the sound line, pattern of footsteps, rain falling into water, concentric circles outward to nothingness. Slide of horns, pause. The emotion tentative, questioning, then certain. Rhythm followed by the chaos and cacophony, back to rhythm, swooping to irrevocable. And the last four poems, or actually it's two poems, they're coming out, I have a book coming out with Finishing Line Press, and I have a mailing list here if you're interested. Just find the mailing list. Normalcy. 1. We would sit out on the deck, chatting, enjoying the sun, not thinking about the difficulty of getting through the door. We were too new to a wheelchair, so we would watch as someone would try to cross the threshold, pushing fast enough to get over the bump. If one of us failed, the door would close against the wheelchair, front wheels inside, back wheels outside, until a passerby took pity on us. Embarrassing, but what could we do? 2. Trying to navigate the world outside the hospital, I noticed the pavement under the wheelchair. Not the hospital's smooth floor, but the bump, bump, bump of the yellow safety strip into the hotel lobby. I was almost ready to go home, the hospital staff said, so I was allowed to go to the hotel where my parents were staying. I was thankful it was night, rolling through the lobby without being noticed. Now I was in LA at my parents' house. My family folded my wheelchair up and put it in the car, and we drove to the beach. Felt strange to be pushed and sitting, the crunch crunch of wheels running over sand on pavement. The perspective was different. The horizon lower, the sky more expansive. I had to depend on whoever could push my chair. No one I knew would see, unlike at my parents' house when the neighbors would stop by and ask how I was doing. 3. I was almost out of the hospital, so I went to lunch with my parents. I used my 4-point cane and was scared. My old world had become unfamiliar. The safe world had become the hospital. People would stare at me, I thought, the disparity of a young person acting like an old person. In therapy, I went from a 4-point cane to a 1-point cane. I was making progress, they told me. Then I was ready to walk outside without a cane. I was ecstatic. I was on my way towards normalcy. But now, back in San Francisco, I sometimes think of my cane sitting in my parents' garage. I think how I could use my cane as concealment or protection, especially on a crowded bus. My last poem, Roller Coaster. One of the first nights at my parents' house, we decided to go for a walk, all 4 of us and the 2 dogs. Since I couldn't climb the hill, I left the 4-point cane and took the wheelchair. Even that tired me out. Like walking, I moved my feet back and forth, careful not to get them stuck under the chair. I gripped the wheels with my hands, pushed, and then let go. Gripped again, pushed, and let go, over and over. I wasn't used to walking with my hands. My dad wondered if the dogs could pull me, so we strapped their leashes over the handles of my wheelchair. Billy, my boxer pit bull mix, put her head down and pulled like she was born to it. Roxy, my brother's Doberman Rottweiler mix, rolled her eyes and kept trying to escape. As the dogs were dragging me down the hill, I was on a roller coaster. My family was all here beside me, and we were laughing, and no one was bickering, and I was one part of a whole. Thank you.
Juliana, you're next.
Yay!
Yay.
Hi.
Hey. People can squeeze in.
Yeah, come on in, first of all. Come on in. We don't bite. We may. Come on in. Yeah. I have a tendency to speak way too loud, so if it's getting way too loud, you can't take it. You know. Take it down a notch, Juliana. Take it down a notch. Alright, so this is part of a novel I'm working on, and it's happening all the way in Colombia.